Well, hello everyone. This is Lawrence. I'm making this video to show off some recent thrift store vinyl finds. And if you have a eclectic taste in music, then you can find some very interesting records at thrift stores. You have to look long and hard, but they're out there. So these are my more recent finds, and the first stack I'm going to show is on the Phase 4 Stereo London label, Project 3 and Command. These were record labels that were pioneering and developing techniques in the early stages of stereo, but I'm not going to get into that. That's kind of another video. I will just say the sound qualities on these albums is absolutely magnificent because they geared their marketed to a market to the audiophile type of people, and these records were really taken good care of because your stereo fanatics took better care of their records. Okay, the first one is Monto Ross and his orchestra, Dance Again. Ramonto was a famous Latin band leader and multi-instrumentalist. So I have this album, and they're all gatefolds, which contains information on the recording process, as you can see there, along with information about each piece and some information about the artist. So that's a very cool album cover there. Whoops, my foot hit the camera. So a Phase 4 stereo. That's really cool. Okay, we're going on to some Project 3 albums, and mount that up there. And a guy named Enoch Light, if I pronounce his name right, was very instrumental in early stereo recordings, and he produced the label Command Records, later Project 3, and this one's on Project 3. Very cool artwork cover there. Film on film, great movie themes, recorded on 35 magnet tape, which is very unusual for the ultimate in sound quality. So the recordings on this album here was put on 35 millimeter film, magnetic film, which is a lot more expensive, and the reason why it wasn't used that much. And you have different movie themes: Born Free, The Sandpiper, Two Lovers, love theme from Blue X, Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf. So that's very cool. I'll show you all the titles. Okay. Moving on, another Phase Project 3. Spanish Strings, an emotional experience of musical communication. Very cool artwork there. Another Project 3, Tony Mottola, Heart and Soul. If you don't know who Tony Mottola is, he was very prominent on the Project 3s and the Command Records albums. I have a nice collection of Command Records, and those are the best sounding records I've ever heard. But again, Command Records and this experimenting in early stereo is another video. Cool artwork Tony, look him up. He's one of the best guitarists I've ever heard. He, kind of a like smooth jazzy. He recorded a lot of songs from the Great American Songbook. Trying to get the reflective light out of there. Bobby Hackett with strings, that Midnight Touch, and that's exactly what this album is very soft, kind of smooth, romantic, at night, holding hands type of music. And Bobby was a very famous jazz trompeter. Okay, I don't want to keep this video too long. Whoops, there they go. I think the last of the Project 3 albums, and they were famous for recording Great American Songbooks types of songs. And, whoops, moving these out of the way. Okay. And I still have the receipt, the thrift store receipt. So this is new, as you can see the sticker down there. New channel stereo. You can play this remarkable record on any regular 2-channel as well as 4-channel set. This set's a little different because it contained popular hits of the 60s, early 70s, like Wichita Lineman, The Fool on the Hill, My Favorite Things, Blowing in the Wind, Touch Me, and 6 other hits. And very, very cool album cover. Notch Light started Command Records, and he was a famous musician in his own right, and he really cared about the good quality of records his label to produce. So again, that's another video. I'm just trying to show the albums. And we're going into the Command Records. I will say this: if you do thrift store shopping and you run into Command Records, and they're in good playable condition, which most of them are, because people who own Command Records were audiophile people who took care of their records. Buy them, even if you don't really care for the music. It's just the development in the stereo and the different types of instruments, mostly instrumental music. Here's one I was very happy to get: Brass Impact by Warren Kim. The brass choir conducted by Warren Kim. Boy, this really comes at you all the way through. Very cool artwork. This one is like a collection of the Command Performance Value 2, a collection of what was the type of music, the music on the Command label. So they just put a compilation together with this one. The Command Records Provocative Percussions Volume 3. Now I have Provocative Percussion Volume 1, 2, and 4, but I didn't have 3, so I was lucky enough to find 3. And look at that label. They were very famous for their minimalistic cover artwork. So happy to have that in my collection. another phase 4 stereo from Monto Ross again in his orchestra. Kind of Latin, Spanish, Mexican music. Songs from the South. This is more of Mexican music on this album. Gourmet. Edie Gourmet. I'm trying to get that light. Okay. First of all, any album she put out on ABC Paramount is excellent. When she was really in her prime, arranged and produced by Don Costa. And I own a number of her albums on ABC, and this is the latest one I got. By the way, all these albums are in playable, good sounding playable conditions, with a little bit noise here and there. I don't buy a thrift store album unless I examine it good and make a determination that it's in good playable condition. But anyway, I'm going to just do a little adjustment there. I got a number of Edie's albums on ABC, and she was a magnificent vocalist. I was just blown away. And if you have run across any of her albums on ABC and they're in good playable condition, buy them. Now this one, I looked at it, Edie Gourmet on Stage. And I thought, oh, okay, it's a live album. But yes and no. Turn it over. This album was recorded at a new concert hall in Las Vegas. It was recorded live at the concert hall, but with no audience. Okay, so you really different sound than a studio. And this sounds fantastic. And at the bottom here, they have all the musicians and equipment set up. And you can see Edie right there at the microphone. And my friend was looking at all the microphones and everything set up, and he was making some cool observations. This is a fantastic album. I really enjoyed it. And from that era, I always get all of her albums. Just absolutely stunning vocalist. Okay. This man needs no introduction. This is still in shrink wrap, so glare might be there. Frank Sinatra, The World We Knew Over and Over, This Town, This Is My Song, Born Free, Frank and Nancy, Something Stupid. I have a lot of Frank Sinatra albums, the classic 50s albums and the albums he done in the 60s. This is like another compilation. It's in excellent condition, and it even has a compliments of Fisher Radio. So this was like a radio station giveaway. And it's Frank. So very clean sounding of later recordings on the Reprise label. Now I had to just buy this one for the picture. Even if the album is in very good playable condition, but if it wasn't, I would have to buy it for that photo of Benny there. I just love that jacket he's wearing. Sometimes I think I was born in the wrong era because I like the style clothing, the golden age of Benny Goodman. So various compilation selections from his 1930s output. Okay, we're running 14 minutes, much longer than I wanted. we're getting into some, the 1950s kind of button-up music. And this is Billy Eckstine. I just love this cover. Don't Worry About Me. Mercury, very clean, very playable. And look at Billy there, the cigarette and the cigarette holder, the retro look of the record label. Liner notes on the back. Okay. The Four Lads, I mean, this music here just represented button-up, clean-cut 1950s. The Four Lads. This is in excellent condition on Columbia 6i. Okay, we're going to finish up. The Easy Beats. Friday on My Mind was the big hit. I just like the retro album cover and all that. And I got it home. I never heard any other music besides the hit. And I was just, blown away because every track is excellent. Some good era, that type of, garage band rock that was popular in the mid-60s. And one of the members, George Young, brothers went on to form AC/DC. An early Janis Ian album on the Verb label, and she was very young there. And you listen to the music, the words, and this was an individual who was very young but wise beyond her years. Kind of, retro looking, the backside. Okay, we're finishing up now. Some jazz. This is an album by jazz legend Stanley Turrentine. I always mess up his name. Wes Turrentine, I think. West Side Highway, 1978 release, and anything he does is great. Haven't listened to that in detail. 1980s release, Joan Arbitrating. There. This album is not as folky as her previous album. This came out in 1980. This album is kind of more of a rockin', poppin' type of music. It received 4.5 stars in AllMusic, and it became her best-selling album. Some country. Can't go wrong with Ricky Skaggs, Highways and Heartaches. Still has the shrink wrap and the factory sticker on. And I got 2 more to show. This is a... Whoops, here we go. Dionne Warwick. This is a Columbia Record Club exclusive of songs she recorded on the Spectre label, which were her best years. I just love that album cover. It has a ring wear around there, but she just has that, like she's really looking at you and really has something on her mind. This is a 2-record set. The vinyl's in really good condition. The album cover has its wear and tear. And lastly, the album cover on this one is pretty worn, but the vinyl's in excellent condition. I don't know how well that is showing up. The Marshall Tucker Band, where we all belong, and I think this is their second album, and I was happy to get this. Again, the album cover is not in great shape, but the vinyl is, so that's important. So happy to add this to my Marshall Tucker collection. Okay, well, thank you so much for watching this video. Please leave a comment. Please do. I'd love comments, and I will respond to all comments. And subscribe to my channel, or tell people. Of course, you have subscribed to my channel. If you have, that's great. If you haven't, please subscribe and tell other people too. I like to get some followings. Thank you for watching this video, and I want to wish everyone a nice day. Bye.